So I'll call the meeting to order at 7:03 on November 16th. And I believe we have one absence bill. So we'll see, Max is his fill-in, and Don, if you can read the call now.
Okay. Dear Matt, please publish the following public notice for one insertion on Monday, November 8, 2021. Town of Groton Notice of Public Hearing, Historic District Commission. The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, November 16th, 2021 at 7 p.m. virtually via the Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriation. HDC 21-49, 12 Water Street, Factory Square LLC owner, Mystic River Chocolate LLC applicant, signage PIN number 261918305500, HDC 21-50, 9 West Main Street, Steamboat Wharf Condominium Association LLC owner, Rebecca Mishuda applicant, signage PIN number 2619184017420051, HDC 21-51, 1 Pearl Street, Mystic Parking LLC owner, Leo Roche applicant, signage PIN number 261918317081, HDC 21-52, 12 Water Street, Factory Square LLC owner, Todd Brady applicant, addition and alterations PIN number 261918305500, HDC 21-53, 5 Water Street, Sift Real Estate LLC owner, Adam Young applicant, roof on pergola PIN number 261918308613. A Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website meetings calendar, or could be attended by visiting www.zoom.us, webinar ID 869191, 1647, password 723262, or by phone 1-3112-629-6799. Access to electronic equipment at the Town Hall Annex for the purpose of participating in the meeting shall be provided to any member of the public who provides a written request to the Office of Planning and Development not less than 24 hours prior to the meeting. Applications are on file and available for public inspection during normal. There we go. Business hours at Planning Department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut, dated this 8th day of November 2021 at Groton, Connecticut. Todd Brady, Secretary. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact Linda Galetta at 860-446-5982. Sincerely, Peter Zingagilis, Manager of Inspection Services.
Thank you, Don.
My ophthalmologist will be proud of me, I think.
You passed. All right, I will call HDC 21-49, 12 Water Street, Factory Square owner, Mr. River Chocolate LLC. Are they here?
I'm here, Bill Gash, Mystic River Chocolate, 12 Water Street. Mystic here to ask to change location of our sign. Our signage was put up when we started our cafe last year. And it's been struck by delivery vehicles right impacting our sign at least 4 times this past summer. We tried working with the drivers, but it turns out that it's always a different driver coming up. It's never the same drivers. And the last time the sign got hit, which was a couple of months ago, it structurally damaged the sign and the bracket holding the sign to the building. At that point, we decided to take our sign down and repair it. But when we talked to our sign manufacturer, they told us that they couldn't repair the sign; it would have to be replaced. At that point, we decided to look into other options, given that it was going to be about $1,000 for the job. And we talked with the building owner and came up with a solution, which was to move the sign down the street a little ways and away from the area where the delivery trucks, fairly large trucks, pull in to deliver to all the different businesses and restaurants on that side of the street. So I'm in front of you this afternoon to talk about moving the sign and also changing the way the sign looks a bit.
Okay. Peter, can you put up his application?
Bill, did you want to share a screen on this one yourself, or did you want me to do it?
I can share, I think I can share screen and
You have the packet, I believe, also, because you talked about that last meeting, that you were gonna.
yeah.
Okay.
This is from the last meeting. This is our current sign. You can see where it's been cosmetically damaged and then structurally damaged here where it's held onto the building, and this bracket that goes up was also damaged up there. So that's what the sign looks like right now, and this is what we're proposing. This would be the new sign, same dimensions, and I'll get the dimensions in a minute. The sign actually looks slightly different depending on which side of the sign you're looking at. Given that we have to move this, that we're moving the sign a little ways away from our cafe. If you see down at the bottom of the sign, it says just ahead 12 Water Street. And then if
You didn't move to the next picture.
oh, I'm sorry. Hold on just a sec. Let's see what I did here. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
You got it now?
Yep.
Okay, all right, so this is the new sign. Same dimensions as the old sign. Pictorially, it looks a little different. It more reflects what our cafe is. And if you're looking at the sign facing, if you were facing south, it looks like this. And if you're facing north, you'll see the very bottom of the sign changes. So it just gives you a little bit of direction to get to the store. And I'm just going to move along unless there's questions. And this is, let's see here. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, that should be a new picture now. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is where the sign currently is. And in reference, this is the entrance to the Mystic Arts Center parking area. And here, so this is our sign currently. We want to move it to the other end of the building here. And this is what the new sign would look at. This is what it would look like on the in the new location. So you can see that. We actually took a shot when we had some folks walking past it. So you sort of get a reference to where the sign would be. This area here is stairwell. So we're not impacting on anyone's private view from their apartments looking out into the street. And then finally, let's see here. This is the materials for the sign. Before our present sign is steel. Our new sign would be 1-inch PVC, as I just showed you in the picture, and the bracket would be steel painted black, and a replica of the bracket that was already approved for our current sign. So that's what I have for you this evening, and ready to answer any questions you might have.
Does anyone in the commission have any questions or comments for the applicant?
No, we saw almost the whole thing in the prelim, so
Okay.
I don't.
Does the applicant have anything that they want to add? No? Okay. Would anyone in the audience like to speak for this application? Would anyone in the audience like to speak against this application? HDC, thank you. 21-49 is closed. HDC 21-50, 9 West Main Street, Steamboat Wharf.
That's me. This is Becky Mashuda.
Hello.
Hi. Just requesting signage for my new store that just came in at 9 West Main.
Congratulations.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks. We've been received so beautifully by the community. It's been really nice.
Are there other pictures of the sign?
I submitted a few. Yeah. So I did my best. I'm not a computer pro.
So can you tell us about the sign, what it's made of, what its dimensions are?
Sure, that was all in the application. It's 36 by 36. It's made out of PVC. It's a cast iron bracket attached to the building. Let me know what else you want to know.
Peter, can you go back up to the application, please? So I'm just looking for where you've put the dimensions and what it's made from.
So someone emailed me. Tom asked me if I had dimensions, and I just responded. I said, yep, that's 36 by 36. It's a little smaller than the signs that are next to that. I'm between two signs that are a bit bigger than that.
It has to be part of your application.
Okay.
Can you go back up, Peter, please?
Does it have any of that in the wording on the application?
It doesn't. It just says install sign. Can you go back up just a little bit more, Peter? Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Oh, go down. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing in there.
I have a thought, Sarah, to make it easier. What if she told us we could vote on it and then she could just submit the materials and dimension to match after, assuming it's this correct?
We could do that.
It just seems like a fairly straightforward sign.
Peter, can you scroll back down just so that we can look at the writing on the sign? And so what's it actually say? You can't see. I can't see.
Can you move it up, Peter?
The one below, Desert Rose, I think.
Yeah, the orange one. So it says Desert Rose and it has our logo in the center.
And that's what it looks like on both sides.
Correct. Yep. Same thing on both sides.
and it's attached, it will be attached just like that, where,
Yeah, that's the exact bracket that I have for it. Like exactly like to that, yeah.
I guess I was just asking, like, how's the sign attached? Like chain link, how many, like, do you see the sign behind you has like little, I'm touching the screen and you can't see me, that's silly.
No, I see what you mean. It's just gonna be like a clip. So it's gonna look just like that. It's not gonna be a
Okay.
chain. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Did you already, is the sign already made?
No, this particular sign. I have a ABC photo is helping me out with it.
Okay,
So it's gonna be, is it gonna move with the wind?
Yeah, because the clip that it hangs from is like a loop.
Okay.
I don't know if it's your business, but it seems like you got a pretty big sign for not much in the way of logo and writing. If I were you, I'd make it a little bigger in terms of the logo and the sign, so it stands out more since you got the sign anyway, but.
I am seeing what you're saying now that we're looking at it. I think that would be a good call to make that logo a little bigger, less blank space there.
Yeah, and the name a little bigger too.
Yeah. Okay.
so do you want us to vote on this sign, or do you want to come back with a modified sign that has a larger logo?
And dimensions and materials.
Right,
Sure. Yeah, I can resubmit the application and have the sign, change the sign up and then come back. That's a great idea.
okay.
I think it would look better, bigger as well.
Okay.
Anybody else have any comments for the applicant?
I just want, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Okay.
All right, well then, if no one else has anything to add, then I'll move to continue HTC 21-50.
One other thing, what is the actual, I'm sorry to, but what's the actual business?
Jewelry and crystals.
Okay. I don't know if you want to put, something on the sign that kind of indicates what the business is, but that's up to you. But
Yeah, also a great idea. When I resubmit this, should I just start over or can I just add the additional
can.
notes?
You can just add the additional materials.
Okay, great.
And
Thank you
you'll
so much,
see on the
everyone.
next agenda.
Perfect. Thank you so much for everybody's help.
Welcome, have a good night. HTC 21-51, 1 Pearl Street, Mystic Parking. Is Leo here? No. Oh, he is here. Leo?
Hi,
Hey, Leo. All right,
how you doing?
we're good. I'm gonna recuse myself from this one, guys.
Okay.
Leo, you can start your application.
Do
Okay.
you have to replace somebody? No, we're not voting.
Pardon? I mean, I can seat John to replace me. John?
Yep.
Okay, very good. All right, go ahead, Leo.
Hi, good evening. I'm here to put in an application for a sign on 1 Pearl Street. The sign size shall be 33 inches by 36. The material for the sign is 2 white aluminum faces over a frame of aluminum tubing. And the material for the bracket is going to be steel, 48 inches long on a single arm, as in the picture as application. And if you've got the application in front of you, it shows the sign. So that's basically, it's kind of a swinging sign. And that's basically it. I don't know if you got the application in front of you.
Yeah, we do. Mystic
Yeah.
Parking with a big red arrow.
That's it. Yes.
It's pretty explanatory.
Okay. So I got to put on my glasses. I'm blind as a bat. So
What are those little round black circles? What the hooks?
Hold on, where am I?
That hanging, the attaching it from the sign to the bracket.
I think that's just the bolts.
Okay.
I think that's just the bolts that, attach the sign to the bracket. And then the bracket is allowed to swing in the wind. If that makes sense. So you have the bracket going out, then you'd have maybe a small chain, and it's attached to the bracket, to the frame, to the metal frame, and moves with the wind.
Okay.
Hopefully,
And
that.
will the tip of the arrow stick out like it looks like here?
Not much. No, not much. Not much. And that's basically it. It's just showing the arrow direction. But I guess the way he has proposed, it would be sticking out a little bit.
It says it's the exact opposite on the other side.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when you go up from one part to Pearl Street, obviously you come down the other side, and it would match.
Can you go back up, Peter, to the dimensions and the material, please? So it's 3 by 33. Okay. I don't have any questions. You want to show us, Peter, can we see where it's going on the building?
I think you need to go one more down, Peter. Keep going.
Oh, sign. Okay. So is that in between those windows or?
It's a little bit past that window, say going down Pearl Street. It's a little bit further down.
Okay.
I think it's where that black square is, Bonnie.
Yeah.
The little lower window looking.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think, Eric, you're in charge, Eric.
Oh. Am I?
I can still run it. I just didn't want to ask questions or vote.
Okay.
Does anyone have any other questions or comments for the applicant? No?
Good.
Does the applicant have anything additional that they want to add?
No, nothing at all.
All right. Would anyone in the audience like to speak for this application? Would anyone like to speak against this application? HDC 21-51 is closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
HDC 21-52, 12 Water Street, Factory Square LLC. Todd?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I'd probably better off sharing my screen rather than letting Peter scroll it. So can someone do that for me?
Be able to share screen now. Need what I have on file, or do you have it up on your computer?
Yeah.
Can anyone hear me?
We can hear you.
I'm a younger, better looking version of Todd Brady, even though it says Todd Brady in my corner down here, just so you know.
I shared my Zoom invitation with our architect, David Atkinson. So he's masquerading as me, but it's a total fraud.
Thank you for that, Todd.
Yeah, you're welcome. And also joining us is Cynthia Reynolds from Lorero. She's the landscape designer and one of the civil engineers on this project. So this is, we appeared for the pre-application 4 weeks ago, and this is an application for a restaurant renovation and addition at Factory Square in the courtyard. And these are a series of photos. So this is the front of the building as it currently appears. On the left, the two large.
We're still looking at your application.
Pardon me?
We don't see it.
We're looking at your application.
You can't see me scrolling up there?
No.
Now we just see everybody. We're all tiles again.
Huh. Well, that's funny because, I mean, I can, so if you can't see my screen, what am I doing wrong?
You didn't share it. Share screen,
You
green
might have
button.
not, you might have a different tab open and you were sharing the wrong tab.
All right,
Want Todd, I can make you co-host and you can share off of mine.
okay, okay.
All right, I made you a co-host, so you should be able to share this screen.
All right, let me close this. Okay, so you want to start scrolling up, Dave, there are a series of photographs here.
All right,
not
you-
scrolling.
Can I
Todd, you,
scroll it?
yeah, you're scrolling, you're in charge, Todd. You just gotta go under the share. You should be under, you should be able to
All right, hit it
participate.
again, all right. You cannot share, start screen share while other participant is sharing.
You're
Try it
you're
again. try it
sharing
again.
with you.
All right, but now when I hit share screen, now it's going to my computer.
Todd, do you think it's because I'm under you? There's two Todd Brady's on the screen?
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at my screen from a share standpoint here.
Oh, there you go.
Can you see that?
So
Yes.
I think you have too many tabs open because now we're looking at your Zoom screen. We're seeing your desktop.
That's fine. He can just pull in what he needs to share now.
Hang on a minute. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it bigger. Make it bigger.
How's
Very
that?
Beauty. Beauty.
Good.
A miracle.
It is a miracle. Well, initially I was connected to my office computer and I was a total fuzzball and I couldn't hear or see anything. So now I'm. Okay. Let's start over again. My name's Todd Brady. This is regarding an application for Factory Square at 12 Water Street. This is for a restaurant addition and renovation on what we know as Building E. The photograph you see right here is Building E, which sits along Water Street. The subject premises to be renovated are the include the four garage doors on the right-hand side. The two left-hand garage doors are the current location of Friar Tuck's. This is a view of the property from the south, looking to the north. It's a close view, pretty much the same as the one you saw before, except at a slightly more oblique angle. This is from the north, looking to the south. And just notice there's some other openings that are right here now. They're going to get reformulated. And this
And
is
there's gonna be a chocolate sign too.
the chocolate sign is actually over on this building. Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Yeah, so the chocolate sign is over on the building to the right, the main apartment building,
Okay.
not on Building E. This is the alley that runs up between what we call Building A, which is the main building, and Building E. And this will all be ripped up and redone. This is a closer shot of the old loading door and an existing window on the north side of Building E. That's the Barley Head Brewery entry right to the right there on the bottom of the screen. And this is another shot of the Barley Head Brewery. And I'm also showing, if you see, look to the left here on this, what we call Building A, you have two apartments which have stairways that lead into what are now doors. Part of this application is we're going to remove these doors, we're going to remove these concrete stairways, and we're going to restore and install new windows to match the existing windows on the rest of the building. So these stairs are going to go away because these apartments already have other access and they rarely, if ever, use these stairs. It's a vestige from some prior renovation of the property. I'm not exactly sure when that occurred. This is a shot of the same, one of the stairs and the Barley Head Brewery and Water Street and the entrance to the Mystic Museum of Art below. This is a shot behind the building looking from the north to the south across the courtyard. This space is currently being used by the Barley Head Brewery, and we let them use this for their outdoor use, but this will be taken over by the new restaurant, which is going to be built at the site. This is a view looking at the north side of the Friar Tuck's addition. He never finished this side of the building because he knew we intended to do an addition here, and this is his beer cooler. And this is some of his equipment up on the roof here. And one other, see how they get another shot of this. This is a shot from over where Margarita's is. You see this large structure right here, which hangs off the back of the building. This is going to be demolished. This is a concrete block, concrete floor and poured concrete ceiling, which dates back to the Davis Standard or Standard Machinery Company. We don't know what it was. Maybe a bomb shelter. I'm not sure. But we're going to demolish that. There's another shot of the appendage off the rear or west side of the building. So the subject part to be renovated is basically from here over on the right. There'll be an addition coming out here that abuts the Friar Tuck's addition and all the way over to the north side. This is some extra space that we gave to Friar Tuck's during the pandemic so they could expand their outdoor seating. This will be taken back over by the new restaurant. And this is just another view. I just tried to give you a shot of pretty much the backyard. This fence right here surrounds Friar Tuck's patio will be reconfigured. The fence will actually end now at the end of their patio. And this space to the right of that will become recreation space for the tenants at Factory Square. This is a view from the south looking north at the Friar Tuck's and their existing patio. And these are those doors I told you about, like those blinds. This is one of the doors that will be changed back into reconfigured as the window that it originally was to match the windows that abut on the right and the left. And the stair will be fully removed and the rails. This is the other door that will be removed and redone with a matching window. That's the window we're going to match. Okay, so this next set of drawings are the site plans, which basically show the work, which is recently fairly extensive. This is an existing drawing of the site. This is obviously the courtyard area. You'll see there's a existing concrete walkway that runs up the alley that I showed you earlier. There are also concrete walkways that come out to a brick paver circle and then work their way back to Margarita's. The concrete over here by Margarita's will remain. All the rest of these walkways will be removed and replaced with permeable pavers in a slightly different configuration. And Cindy, can you hear me? Cindy Reynolds?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, so you can chime in and correct me if I say something I shouldn't.
Gladly.
Yeah, I'm sure. Things like that. This probably not germane to the Historic District Commission, but we are establishing a new kind of hiking recreational path and sitting area up here on the north side of the building, adjacent to the parking lot, up against the ledge cliffs that come down. And this is to give the tenants of Factory Square a space that is not so public as is the courtyard at the present time. But what this shows here is this is all tenant, mostly tenant occupied space. They're going to be some more seating, all new walks and everything, though this still shows the old walkway there.
Yep, that's the site demolition plan. So those are the pavers and some overgrown plantings that are going to be removed.
Yeah. This just shows the area, basically the area of construction, but now you can begin to see here, this area right here, the kind of tan, that is the addition that's being added to the west side of building E. And this also shows now the new walkway that comes up alongside, replacing the solid concrete walkway, the entry ramp for the restaurant. And this is all outdoor seating and service areas for the restaurant. And this is actually, you'll see this later, this is a covered canopy, or a canopy that extends out from the building that covers part of the rear patio. And this is the newly landscaped area over here, which is denoted for the tenants, and the new walkway, which provides access from one side of the courtyard to the other. more detailed drawing of all of the same site improvements that are going to take place. These are some construction drawings. So this is an example of these lights are denoted on the plan, and these lights are mounted on the ground, right, Cindy?
Yep, those are some accent lighting for some of the new specimen trees, just to give a little bit of ambiance to the courtyard.
Yeah, the other two lights are these are existing lights at Factory Square, which are being added in certain places where they don't currently exist attached to the building. And these are wall washing lights right here. There's a better close up of this. These are being installed on the face of the building around the corner. This is the wall washing light. This shows what its effect is. It washes up and down, and these will be placed on the pilasters on the front of the building and around the side. Okay, so now these are the architectural drawings. And Dave is here, but I guess, can you speak, Dave? No, I guess not. So
You're muted, Dave.
he's not muted. We've already texted back and forth. He's just, I think he may not be able to speak because he's appearing as me. He's masquerading as me.
Can
This
you
is
hear
the-
me now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you were muted, Dave.
Well, it's probably better, actually for the better if I'm muted, just so you know.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the existing first floor of Building E. This is the appendage I spoke about earlier that's going to be removed. And this is the Friar Tuck space over to the left here. This is in a little bit more detail, but you see this is, and this you'll get more detail on this later, but this dotted line here is the canopy that extends out from the existing building here and from the new addition on this side. The entrance to the new restaurant will be over here at the rear. The front entrance, which is also shared with Friar Tuck's, will become an emergency egress point. The plan basically is to bring all of the patrons up the alleyway and into the restaurant from the rear. It's partly because we think it's a slightly more desirable way to actually get in, but also from an operational standpoint. When a guest wants to, whether they're going to go to the patio or they're going to go into the restaurant, they're going to come to the same location. Gary at Friar Tuck's has issues now where people just don't know quite how to get inside the restaurant or to the patio or which door they should go to. So if they go into the patio, they troop through the restaurant. If they're going to the back, sometimes they come back in. So we decided, the new restaurant owners decided he's going to bring everyone in by the back, and this will be the main entrance. This is basically all existing, but you see the wall washing lights here. These are the lights that I showed you earlier. We're going to extend them down across the face of Friar Tuck so that we bring some uniformity to the appearance of the building, and hopefully when you're standing at the corner of, well, maybe of Main and West Main and Water Street, you might more see this building. It's actually a fair distance down Water Street, so it's not that visible from West Main Street. These are existing louvers that are going to be replaced with basically identical ones, but this is currently a fan, and the fan is being removed. So this is the north side elevation. These are the old loading dock doors, and this is the existing window. These new windows are going to match the fenestration pattern and the mutton pattern of the garage doors that you can see at the top of the screen here, as will this window here, which is a window into the actual kitchen, which abuts. The entire addition is basically all kitchen. And this here is this is a screen. Is that that's the screen, I guess, of the coolers. And I'll show you a closer, better drawing. These are fences, a combination of fences and patios that surround the rear courtyard, and I'll show you what those look like.
Interesting.
This is what the whether it's a fence or whether it's a planter, this is what the basic appearance of construction is. This is 1x8 pressure treated lumber that will just not be stained or painted or anything. It will just weather out, and you can see there are intentional gaps between the boards there, which gives it a little bit more definition appearance wise. And this is actually an existing planter at Randall's Wharf, and that's what we modeled these on. It's the same basic thing. The siding up here on this building will be what amounts to basically distressed corrugated metal. And this is an example of what that looks like. In its other forms, it's sometimes known as Core 10, or it's basically steel that is made to rust. And once it rusts, it then will stay in that shape and form for a long, long time. The rust actually protects the metal. So this is an example of a distressed or piece of corrugated metal, and we just haven't decided whether we'll distress it ourselves or whether we'll buy it. But we think we can actually pretty much do it ourselves. So it will be a rusted appearance, which is also set to complement the red brick that it will be abutting at various parts of the structure. And these this is fencing around the rear coolers. And although they're shown vertical here, they're horizontal later on, I think, Dave, aren't they, in the closer drawing? I think so. This is a detail of the canopy that will extend out on the right here. This is off the kitchen, so it's right here and off the side. It's basically a steel I-beam type structure, very industrial appearing. You can see the I-beam right here that forms the face of the canopy. And then this is a piece of sheet metal that will surround a built-in gutter. And the downspouts will actually go and be pocketed into the web of the I-beams. And then the roof, you can see, will be exposed corrugated metal underneath with a particle board or a foam type overlay, and then a membrane on top. So that's all of this area. And you can see there'll be 4 skylights. There's a photograph of that coming that will be in the canopy, so you get more light into that area. This is a view looking back at the west end of the building. You can see that the canopy, although this is not canopy here, the line of the canopy is carried across the rear of the kitchen. And these are the surrounds around the cooling tower. And this one right here actually blocks what is an outside service station for the servers on the patio. One of the interesting things about this is nothing to do with HTC, but if you're getting served in the patio, the servers will come out the rear of the kitchen. If you're getting served in the restaurant, the servers will come out the front of the kitchen. So that unlike a lot of places where your guests are coming in and out the same doors while you get service at the patio or service in the front, here the servers can operate independent of guests coming in and out of, say, the front door where you have service out on the street. These are what the skylights will look like. And this is an example of what the canopy will look like. These are roofs in the meatpacking district in New York, which is what we're basically copying, except that we won't have steel rods supporting the canopies. The canopies will be supported by vertical I-beams on the outside edge. But it's a different kind of look as opposed to a strict shed type canopy that you might otherwise see. So these are some examples. That's a pretty good example of what the underside will look like, except these are clear corrugated. This is clear polycarbonate corrugated. Ours will be actually a solid because you've got a roof over top. So you won't be able to see through the roof. Any light that gets through the canopy will be from the skylights. This is just a south or a view of the south side of the Friar Tucks, and this is what the cooler enclosures will actually look like. They'll be copies of the same formulation as is used on the planters. So it's horizontal board enclosure and planters throughout the whole rear of the property for consistency's sake. And then the coolers won't be that visible. And the industrial or exhaust systems and everything are kept very tight to the existing kitchen roof. And with the canopy and with the distance and the fact that no one is this tall, you're probably not going to see much of the mechanicals on the roof of this new restaurant. Though the Friar Tuck's mechanicals are much more visible, in part because their kitchen is in the main building, and that's one of their exhausts up here by the ridge of the building. These are interiors. Let me show you. This is what the inside will look like. This is the kitchen. It's a big kitchen. You can see the kitchen is half as big as the inside. It's built for production and efficiency. And you can see there's an outside bar, which is under that canopy I showed you before. Here's the canopy that comes across, covers the stairs going in. So there's an outside bar here, and then the inside bar floats in the middle of the room along with new bathrooms and that kind of thing. And that is about it. So questions?
So is the intent to vote on and approve of all of this work all in one tonight?
Yes.
So I recognize that I'm pretty new to this committee, but this is by far the biggest project that I've seen come across. I've just I think maybe like one of these components I've seen this committee spend a half an hour discussing in detail. So I think it's a lot to approve right up front, and I think you did a great job. I think you were very thorough, and all the details definitely there. I just think it's a lot to approve in one meeting. And again, I'm probably one of the most junior members here, so open up to the floor. But I don't know where to start, I guess.
Yeah, well, of course, we made a preliminary presentation 4 weeks ago. Were you at that meeting?
I don't believe so. That's when my son was born, actually. Was that last one? Thank you.
So of course, that's one reason why you have preliminary hearings, so that you can start the process and go through it. So I mean, I understand your concerns, Max, but I'm not sure exactly how to address them unless.
Todd, I missed it too, because I wasn't here for that either.
Yeah.
And I missed it as well.
So I don't think that continuing an application because it's a lot to digest is necessarily an appropriate reason. So let's just take the application piece by piece and make sure every question's answered. So let's start from my perspective with the spec sheet that has the material list on it.
Well, there are all the materials are called out throughout the drawing. So you almost have to sort of, I mean, these are roof materials, roofing materials, the kind of roof, et cetera, the metal deck, the I-beams. I'm not quite sure.
I mean, just to understand, do we care about the back? I mean, is that a public way?
The courtyard is considered a public way. It has been in the past, because the public can pass through here, Eric. So it's considered a public way.
So I would say no, but okay. I mean, that just makes more, but because I think the front and the side is relatively straightforward. I mean, I don't agree that it's a public way, so I don't think we have to do the back. But if you want to include it, I mean, you can go through the whole thing.
Well, by precedent, it has been considered a public way previously, so we treated it that way. I mean, I think that what you maybe, when you talk about, Max, when you talk about what you have to take in or not, I mean, obviously the front of the building here is pretty much doesn't change except for some wall washing lights. The side changes because you get these new windows that go in here, and on the south side of building A, you get two doors that get changed back to windows, which they were originally to match the existing windows that were already there. I mean, from the standpoint of what you're going to see or what the HDC has to evaluate, what you've got is you've got this distressed corrugated metal siding, which will surround the entire rear of the building, though not in a tremendous amount of abundance in terms of visibility, just because of some of the other stuff. So if you're looking at the building in terms of what you're going to see, let me see where I should go with this. This is a fence that matches that planter I showed you. These are the planters that are basically identical to the ones that we already showed, and this is the wall that cuts off what's the service station from view from the back, and this is the surround that comes around the cooler that is accessed from inside the restaurant. So these would be the parallel spaced 1x8 pressure treated boards, as would this wall here, as would these planters and this wall down here, all basically the same configuration.
Todd, can I ask you a quick question on the planters? So are they single, like 3-foot planters, or are they long planters kind of as they appear on your sheet?
They are built for the site, and they're continuous planters.
Okay,
they-
so
They serve as a fence in essence. We don't have a height issue here where we have to have a guardrail or anything, because the height off the ground is back in this area, Dave, if I'm not mistaken, it's minimal, almost nothing, in terms of the grade of the rear deck and the existing grade beyond it.
Yeah, there's no code issue in terms of having something that you would fall over and then fall, a foot or two down to the ground. So no, there's no code issue inside in terms of the railing height. So these are basically just 3-foot barriers to keep people from coming in that way.
I think my background's an architect. I think this was a very thorough presentation. I feel very comfortable with it, but I do have a question for Peter, and or Sarah, or anybody on the commission. The rules for, I know you're calling it a public way. I thought our rules said if you could see it from the street. Isn't
No,
that?
it says from any public way.
Public way,
Or it could be a river.
or the river.
Oh,
I
okay.
just don't think the courtyard's a
Okay.
public way because there's no easement to the public. I mean, so I'm just trying to make it simpler, but
Yeah,
I also
I think
agree
that's a
with Todd's
valid
point.
point.
I think to Eric and Todd's point, whether it is or it isn't, we've always treated it as, so to be on the safe side, we need to treat it as one tonight.
Well, and I think that the description back there was more than adequate.
Yeah, I'm with Bonnie. I think we have enough to go on with what's in the record now.
Well, I don't mean to certainly, I understand that the information was available to me, and I don't want to give you a hard time at all, but I just, for my own sake, I would feel more comfortable if we would just re-review the overhang on the walkway, the new overhang. If we could just re-review that one more time, I would just feel more comfortable. And I apologize for not. All right. Well, I just apologize that I didn't review the materials while I was out. I know it's all there.
That's fine. I mean, it's basically, I mean, Dave, I'll let Dave the architect, you want to describe the overhang, its construction methods, and what it's going to look like, and you can scroll.
Sure, I'm happy to. Everybody can hear me okay, because I was having computer issues.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, and I can't control the screen, but basically the horizontal lines there are exactly the canopy that Todd described, and it sticks out, 8 or 10 feet. Yeah, would you scroll up to the plan? Thank you. And again, that dotted line, so it starts there, runs, actually it goes all the way across over towards the cooler. There's a very short canopy of about a foot, but just to continue for an architectural and aesthetic continuation, and it would run all the way along exactly to that corner, then turn towards the river, go over the bar. So that's basically, as Todd described, an industrial looking canopy with some exposed steel I-beams, some metal deck from which you'll see from below. There'll be gutters and there'll be downspouts built in that will come down on the columns, and so that they will not be there'll not be rain spilling off the edge of that. Obviously, the point is to create a entrance for the restaurant as well as cover for the bar in the days where it does rain. But it's basically a very basic industrial looking canopy, essentially flat for all intents and purposes. It's the exposed steel with the underside metal deck, and then a little bit of slope with the tapered insulation just to get drainage, and then a built-in gutter.
And then the skylights were inspired off of something from
So yeah, Todd pointed out, we're looking at the meat packing district for the sort of the structure. And I think if you can scroll down a little bit more, they're basically the very industrial, sort of the old school skylights with the heavy metal, or not heavy metal, but mullions, pyramidal in shape. There you go. Thank you. 4 of those, just to bring some light down so it doesn't get so dark back there because it is facing west.
But as opposed to a more bubble type skylight.
Right, a more contemporary skylight, which would be a bubble thing. This is sort of more meant to be more period.
Okay, yeah, great.
Where does the gutters exit, like the water that's coming down the built-in gutters? Where does the water go?
So if you scroll back up to the floor plan, there's a couple of columns. Right, so there's a column, you've got the eye, sort of the eye right there. There's an eye column there, there's an eye column there, and there's an eye column there. And the intent is to basically leave those eye columns exposed and tuck a gutter into sort of the shape of the eye column and have a gutter tucked in there that will then drain underneath. And Cindy, can you speak to where that drainage is going to go?
Absolutely. There's an existing drainage system that we're going to be tying into. So those gutters will be tied into the drains underneath the deck. It's going to be gravel underneath there and then tie into the catch basin before it goes into the main storm system.
So
Yeah,
you said deck. So is this a like a decked patio? It's not stone. It's you're going to be on wood out on the patio.
Yes.
It's a 2x4 pressure treated deck with stone underneath. So it's a permeable deck. We looked at using pavers, but we've got an elevation change from the rear of the courtyard here to here. What is it, about 1.5 feet, Dave? Maybe something like that. So that it was much easier actually to build a deck that will come in and will be at the level of the interior of the building for handicap egress and ingress. Whereas if we'd done it in pavers, we would have been building a retaining wall down this side and then done a lot of filling of material to bring it up to the same grade.
Can you scroll to the photo of the roof in the meatpacking district that you had? Where it was, yeah. So here, yeah, this one. It almost looks like the roof is green in color, and I'm sure that's just the photo, but what's it gonna look like in color? Like what was yours gonna look like?
The I-beam, well, what you're gonna see is you're gonna see a sheet metal that wraps around and disguises the gutter. But basically probably all gonna be just painted black.
Okay, to match your existing factory square roof.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the windows, which are all black too.
All the windows are black, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is an industrial, I mean, even this one right here, that's almost the same, isn't it? Those are I-beams right there, this structure.
Yep.
On this Urban Outfitters place.
Yeah, that's deceiving because it's that, like you said, it's that bubble plastic, which we're not going to do, but the framing looks very similar.
Yeah. And the underside of the corrugated is basically similar too. It's just it won't be translucent. I was down in the meatpacking district this weekend, and these roofs are all over that area. But it's not your typical roof in this case. It would be a shed type roof with the high point at the building and the low point at the face. And this is a very different kind of. It's a much more industrial look.
I think it looks great, as long as it's, period accurate. I think, yeah, it looks excellent. Looks like a fun place to hang out.
Hopefully.
I just think, especially, I don't know, even if this is something we should consider, but I think considering that you're on the board, we want to make sure that we go through the plan with as much as a fine tooth comb as we do with all the other plans that come forward to the committee. Just,
I agree.
thanks.
So in that vein, Max, is there any other questions or anything else that you want to go over?
No, I'm happy after reviewing the overhang there.
Does
Myself.
anyone else have any questions or concerns or comments that they want to go over in more detail?
I'm set.
I'm good.
I'm good.
John?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Does the applicant have anything additional that they'd like to add?
No, I don't have anything else to add. Thank you.
All right. Would anyone in the audience like to speak for this application? Would anyone in the audience like to speak against this application? Great. HDC 21-52 is closed. HDC 21-53, 5 Water Street, SIFT, real estate.
Hi, I'm Marissa Lebrecht. I will be doing this application on behalf of Adam Young. So we have a new pergola on the outside of our building on the patio. So we were just hoping to kind of winterize it because obviously, as we know, pergolas are not winterized. So we were just hoping to put kind of a roof on it for right now. It would just be composed of plywood on the bottom that would be painted white underneath to match the pergola, and then a black rubber that would go on top of that would make it then waterproof. And that is pretty much the entire project. So if you scroll down more, yep. So I'm also pointing at my screen and you really can't see that.
It's over the bar.
So not the one over the bar, that one's
Okay.
already done. It will be on the lower patio.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So right there, it pretty much spans the entire length of, well, it spans the length of the building. So it spans pretty much the entire length of the patio. And then we're just hoping to kind of put that roof on there so our guests can still go out there when it's raining and sit under it. But yeah.
So this is the upstairs though, right?
No.
So this,
No, what we were just looking at. I'm just, as we go through the
so
photo.
that is the upstairs that's right on the screen. Yes. So that it'll be on the downstairs one. The upstairs one is already enclosed. So this is just an overview of it coming if you're standing on our rooftop, what it looks like.
So you want to put plywood over that and then put a rubber membrane over that?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you do for drainage? Is there an angle to it at all?
To be honest, I'm not sure if an angle was put on it when it was built.
No,
Eric might be able to answer that.
no, I built it, so. But just to
Oh,
save
sorry.
time, you need a list of materials and everything. So instead of getting into this, I don't think you even have that, Marissa.
I think there is in the application, I do believe I wrote plywood and rubber.
So
Yeah,
this
that's
is already built, this is already existing.
So the pergola already exists. Yes.
Does the roof already exist?
No,
No.
the roof does not exist. So that's what we would like to put a roof on it.
Okay.
Was the pergola previously approved then?
Yeah, we approved that like a year ago almost.
Adam would have done that meeting. Was not on that meeting.
Yeah, I just wonder about the drainage, like, obviously a pergola you don't have to worry about, but if it's a solid
Absolutely.
plywood and then, you got snow obviously and it's sitting up there.
You could.
Marissa, trust me,
Yep.
I want to do this job, so it's a little kind of weird for me to tell you this, but like, this isn't gonna work.
So to be honest, Eric, assumed that this was already, you and Adam had kind of already talked about what this would look like.
No,
I was under
no.
the impression that you guys had already talked about that this would be the materials that were used.
No, because I would have prepared the application and put all the materials. You're missing half the stuff. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a jerk. Trust me,
No,
I want to do the work, but
no, that's fine. When I put this
doesn't-
together, I assumed that you guys had talked about that this was all it was going to be. I was under the impression that like this was it. If this is not what you guys talked about, I will resubmit one for next month. That's fine.
Don's got a good point, which is there's no way to drain that pergola as it is right now. So if you put this
Okay.
rubber roof on it, it's just going to turn into a pool. So
Okay.
there's got to be more to this.
So what would, Eric, since you'll be the one doing it, what would you suggest, obviously, for that portion of it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into that now. I'd have to think about it and get with Cody on it.
Okay.
But I think Don has a really good point, which is it needs to be
Yeah,
designed.
no, that's fine.
You could shim it. Shim the
Marissa, do you
plywood.
want us to just continue this?
Yeah, can we continue it?
Yeah. I think that's appropriate.
So I will move to continue HTC 21-53.
Sarah, can I ask a question? I'm so sorry.
Sure.
So then would I resubmit this for next month?
So you're already in
Okay,
our calendar, so you'll be on our next meeting.
Okay.
So then you just need to submit all your additional materials. So we know you have an application to put in a roof on the pergola. So
Okay.
it will be, the design, the materials, the dimensions, those things.
okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay,
Oh, we got to second your motion, Sarah. I would
Okay.
second it.
I'll second or whatever.
I'll second it, Eric.
all in favor? I'll do a roll call, and we have a bunch of different people voting on different things tonight. So let's see. Moriarty, aye. Goodman. Were you recused on this one? I don't.
No, because I didn't even know about it. So
Okay, so Goodman,
I
Levinson,
Aye.
Leonard,
Aye.
Brady.
My city?
Yes,
Okay, aye.
and Nault. Connie, you're muted. And we don't see you. Maybe she left. It doesn't matter if she abstains from this vote, the application's continued. All right, so public hearings are closed. So we'll go
Could I
back.
ask you a question really quick?
Sure.
This is Becky Mashuda with Desert Rose at 9 West Main. I redid the sign quickly. Is it possible for me to show you the redo and now for consideration?
Does anyone have an objection to that?
Well, we still don't have the list of materials submitted.
I actually just, I can show you on the screen, or like, I think it was suggested before where I could send that in afterwards if everybody's cool with the design.
Does anyone object?
Nope.
mean, is
Okay,
the sign already up?
Pardon?
Is the sign already up?
No. I do have it printed though.
You already have.
Well, the only
plans.
problem is, don't we have an issue with notice? Because, obviously we don't have the design 24 hours before
I don't
tonight.
think we do. I know that's been kind of,
I personally don't think we should start letting people change things during the meeting. Because, I don't know. It's not normally what we allow.
well, I don't want to get into all this like in this gray area right now, but we did historically let people change things during the meeting. Like we would write on their applications and we would have them initial, and like, that's what we had always done.
No,
And then we
that's-
kind of got thrown for the Zoom stuff and we didn't really know what to do, and we're still kind of evolving. So, I
But
don't,
Sarah, we didn't do that, after the record was closed. We did that, while the hearing was still open.
correct. And
Yeah,
I
kind of.
just closed it when she said, "Excuse me, can you reopen it?" Which is why I was looking for everybody for advice. 'cause
Oh,
we've never done
I
that
did,
before.
her hand was up on the Zoom. prior to you closing. I just want to throw that out.
I kind of agree with Bonnie though, which is like, if you're gonna submit a design, submit the design. My only suggestion before was that if it was just missing like PVC and letters, then like I would say submit that after. But to Bonnie's point, otherwise you're just gonna have people continuing to redo the thing.
Right.
Middle of the meeting.
But we always let them. So,
Did we?
and I
though?
know that we did, we would modify plans on the fly in the hearing.
Yeah. But Sarah, again, we always did that after the record was, while the record was still open, not after you went through the whole public comment and we closed it.
That's true. You're right, Don. People were still there available to comment. And if anyone was here to comment on our sign, they would have left. So you're right. That's a very valid point. So I guess in light of that, Becky, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to go to the next meeting.
It'll
When
be in
is the next meeting?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Consideration of public hearings. HDC 21-49, 12 Water Street, Factory Square, owner, Mr. Gruber Chocolate LLC.
Yeah,
applicant.
I was gonna say it's gonna be 3 weeks because of the way the schedule works. We have the 5 Tuesdays in the month of November.
Okay, so the first Tuesday of December.
Yes, the 7th.
Is Becky still on? Did
Yes.
she hear us? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you so much, Bonnie.
Okay, so voting on HGC 21-49, 12 Water Street, Factory Square LLC, owner Mr. Gruber Chocolate LLC. This was the changing of the sign and moving the sign down the street to that apartment building.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Any comments?
I'll second it.
Any comments? All right, all in favor, Moriarty, aye. Goodman,
Aye.
Levinson,
Aye.
Brady, were you here for this application?
No, I think you seated someone in my stead.
I don't think I didn't, because I didn't know if you were coming on, so we'll just,
Oh, well, I
aye
saw,
you.
I saw the whole presentation, so aye.
Okay, no,
Aye.
did I miss Max? Max,
Aye.
did I get everybody? I'm sorry, you're all over my little tiles. I think I did. The application is approved. HGC 21-50, 9 West Main Street, this one was continued. HGC 21-51, 1 Pearl Street, Mystic Parker, parking owner, Leah Roche applicant. This was his signage for his parking.
I make a motion to approve it.
Second,
Any comments? I recused. Goodman,
Aye.
Levinson,
Aye.
Leonard,
Aye.
Brady,
aye.
Aye.
and Goodrich.
Aye.
All right, the application is approved. HGC 21-52, 12 Water Street, Factory Square, owner Todd Brady, applicant. This was the additions to the front, side, and rear, as well as the removal of the stairs and doors. Any comments or motions?
I'd like to make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
Any comments?
I think you did a good job, Todd, putting the application all together.
Thank you.
I'll do a roll call. Moriarty, aye. Goodman,
Aye.
Levinson,
Aye.
Leonard,
Aye.
Nault,
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
The application is approved. All right, pre-application hearings. Is anyone here tonight for those? I can't tell. I don't think so.
See anybody waving a hand?
Pardon?
Said I don't see anybody waving a hand.
I don't see anybody in the audience either.
You mean Mr. Hurd? Mr. Hurd isn't here?
Mr. Hurd is not here.
His house looks really nice.
John Williams.
Yeah, it does.
Does look really nice.
Oh, we now have a hand from John Williams.
Oh, okay.
Asking him to unmute.
Hi, at 120, sorry, 21 West Mystic Avenue. We'd like to just do a addition on the stoop. Basically, all we're doing is taking the corner that's existing and moving it forward 5 feet. Right now, it's that corner to the house. It's a new addition onto the back of the house that was done probably 20 years ago. We're going to use the same clapboard, the same colors, the same trim work, the same roof line and everything. Nothing is changing. It is only changing the that corner, bringing that corner forward to allow them to have an area to drop their shoes and their coats before they go into their kitchen area, because their tile inside is being destroyed from the salts and so forth. And I was speaking with Tom earlier today, and he said it was marginal because there's not a lot of change. And he said to come to you all and possibly waive the process of coming to the commission and just allow us to get our permit and proceed forward since we're late in the year.
We don't have any picture.
I can Google the. No, I don't have a picture with me. I didn't realize.
Did you say it was 54 West Main?
Nope, it's 21 West Mystic Avenue.
21 West Mystic
The
Avenue.
back door, the backside door along the driveway. So if you GPS it, you can do a view of the street, and you can see the door. And all we're doing is bringing the same door, everything forward by 5 feet.
So if we can see it from a public way, we can't waive it, but we can look to see if
There's
we
a
can
tree
see
in front of
from
it.
a public way.
If you see the little tree there, the tree is much larger now than what it was at that time when the picture was taken.
Doesn't matter. Sorry.
Yep.
I mean, if you're just moving it out 5 feet, the likelihood of it being approved is probably pretty high. So I would just
Right.
come to the meeting in 2 weeks.
Okay. So by next Wednesday, I'll submit everything, and then hopefully I'll be able to be at your next meeting.
Just get some pictures, cover the materials.
Yep,
Follow.
it'll be the same materials that are there, but I'll label everything out that it's cedar clapboard and the AZEC trim and so forth that we're going to be using.
And some pictures would be good.
Yes, and pictures of the job.
Site plan too. And
Yep.
material list.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, there
So-
we go.
Is that the house?
That's the house, and you see the little door on the side. It's going to look exactly like that. It's just coming forward 5 feet. If you go one click to the left, you'll have a better view of what that door looks like. Because you're on a street view.
No, he's on the GIS.
GPS. Yeah,
He's
if you
on
go
G-
street view, one click.
He's on the
Groton
GIS.
GIS. Groton GIS. Tax map.
We'll see it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you'll see it in 2 weeks.
For 3 weeks.
Okay.
3 weeks.
Oh,
I
3
mean,
weeks.
3 weeks.
Yes, ma'am. Not a problem. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in 3 weeks. Thank you.
I lost my little, oh, there we go. Thank you, Peter. All right, public communications. Any?
Nothing to report.
Right. Approval of the minutes from October 19th, 2021.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, Moriarty, aye, Goodman,
Aye.
Levinson,
Aye.
Leonard,
Aye.
Brady,
Aye.
Nault. Did she leave?
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry. I forgot I had everything off. Sorry. I'm here. I said aye, nobody heard me.
Okay, so the minutes are approved. Old business. Any?
Well, it seems like the guy at the pub complied with the request from Tom.
he complied with the awnings, but not with the signage
Or the fence.
or the fence. Although in emailing Tom today, he seems to think that the fence was in compliance. So I've been going back and forth with him a little bit about that, explaining that we disagree.
Tom needs to get a new tape measure then.
Well, a new
Well-
tape measure, and also I think it was pointed out that the fence that's there is basically like a temporary fence that you stick into the ground.
Right, it's not a fence.
And I don't think that's the fence that we saw the drawing of.
It's not. The other thing is we're just trying to do the guy a favor, because the reality is that the liquor commission ever comes wandering around, that fence is not what they want for containment.
Right.
He's gonna run into a problem. It's gonna be a heck of a lot bigger than an HTC violation.
Well, that's right. But as far as his sign up above, which was backlit, now I saw it was out a couple of nights, but then I thought last week I saw it was back on again. Does anyone?
It's on. Yeah, it's on.
So
It's on all the time.
he seems to
He's
be.
going into it. I've gone out a couple nights and I've noticed it's off too. So it's like, I think he's just rotating days on and off with it right now.
But he's basically ignoring us, isn't he?
Yes.
But he ignored us before too. This is the same thing when they wouldn't deal with the sign out front when it was Monument Mortgage or whatever. And it was the same thing. It's the same guy who wouldn't mow the grass. And it's the same guy who's ignoring the neighbor. I get frustrated with this whole thing, because not just him, but I think with other stuff, it's like you want the rules, but no one wants to enforce them. So what's the point of doing this? I say we just get rid of the whole commission, quite frankly. If we're not going to enforce them. I mean, that fence down on Pearl Street's never been dealt with. There's new signs throughout downtown. They're building a deck on Steamboat. No one's doing anything about anything. What's the point?
So I think the deck got caught by P&Z and they're dealing with that.
The deck got, yeah, one of the inspectors went out there and he put a work stop order on it, and they're coming in. They got it applying for next meeting. Be on the agenda here.
But one of the things that I was thinking about is, people doing work and then coming to the commission and asking for the work that's already been done for approval. If you've already done it, perhaps the approach would be it's an automatic continuance to give the commission members an opportunity to go out and actually look at it, because it's done. Had I gone and looked at the concrete poured at the brew pub, I wonder if once I saw it in person, instead of just on the pictures that he showed, what I would have done when the pavers were what he was actually approved for. So
I agree.
just a
with
thought.
that. The only thing I would say I think we should be a little bit lenient on is signage, because when someone moves into a shop,
They don't know.
their sign up. So I think if we can give some deference, and from seeing it with the commercial spaces at 3 Water Street, to just, making sure we approve them, making sure people come before us, but not really holding them to the fire, or at least allowing them an opportunity. But otherwise, I agree with you on the other stuff. I think if it's done, it's done. Let's go look at it. And if we don't like it, then no, take it down. Same thing with the sign too. If you don't like the sign, if someone puts up a 60 by 60 huge wacky waving sign, whatever, you tell them no, but at least you give them a couple weeks to open their business.
Right.
But I guess the point that Sarah's kind of suggesting is that if someone has already built something, and then what they do is they come in for approval at a public hearing, that our policy maybe should be adopted as well. We're not going to approve anything that's already been put up at the public hearing. We're going to continue it so we can all go look at it.
Yeah.
That's
Just
a good idea.
Just make that the rule.
Well, the rule should be, we shouldn't be seeing things after it's done.
Right.
Well, right, but it happens. It happens. So
Yeah.
if it does happen, it's another way to deal with it. That's all.
Which, to my point though, is like, we've been squawking now for months about this, and
Nothing's happening.
nothing's happening.
So I asked Tom, what's the next step? How do we get this person to comply? Because I know that there's a per day fine, and I wasn't sure if the fine was per violation or just one fine per, unit. And I said, when can it be? When does it start? Does the town do it? Do we have to take it to Superior Court? He said it has to go to Superior Court for the fine to begin to be imposed. So he said he'd amp up his letter writing campaign and see what happens there. I'm not hopeful on that.
But the thing still comes down to, and Pete, if you want to jump in on this, he has 6 months to complete the zoning aspect of it. If he loses the zoning approval, isn't it an automatic shutdown of the business? If you don't have the zoning approval, you can't open or be open. So he has 3 years to complete the HTC stuff, but he has 6 months to complete the zoning. If he doesn't complete the HTC stuff in the zoning time, the zoning was never done.
I know Bruce has gone out there a couple of times already, and I think he's been working with Bruce on the rest of that. So that'd be something to bring up to the zoning, planning and zoning commission, just to see where they're at with it.
Well, and that's
But
one of the
he
things I
can't-
asked Tom was an update on the bond, like what's been completed, what's still outstanding, when's the bond expire?
But I'm sorry to cut back in, Sarah, but he can't, planning and zoning, this gets back to planning and zoning overextending. Planning and zoning can't authorize his changes if they're aesthetics. They have to come back before us. For whatever reason, though, staff on the Planning and Zoning Commission seems to just allow planning and zoning to make the changes without coming back to us, rarely suggesting that we go back to HDC. Some do, some don't. So if Bruce is working with him, that's fantastic and all, but he still has to come to us. Something he hasn't done since he, begged us before he could open. What's the point of having the rules if no one's going to follow them? Forget it. Seriously. I'm not trying to be a jerk.
I thought the bond was for him to comply with our approval.
The bond's for planning and zoning, so he can bond out of those items, but you can't bond past 6 months. The work's got to be completed within 6 months.
Right, and I don't know what's been completed and what hasn't with regard to the bond, which is what I was asking Tom.
So an average house has 3 years I think it is, to complete the HTC items, but no one's going to.
5. I thought it was 5.
Whatever it is, no one's going to go revoke the house's CO because the HTC items aren't finished. But with a planning and zoning thing for a commercial that you have to complete it, I was just dealing with them right now with a parking strip thing.
Can we get an update for next meeting?
Hopefully.
We've just been doing this over and over again, Bonnie. So sure, we can get another update, another update, another update. I mean, forget it.
A thorough update.
Been asking for that. Just like, we asked a couple times about that plastic fence over on Pearl Street. I don't particularly really care, but either get the person in to get the thing approved or give them a cease and desist. Otherwise, okay, the fence is still there. Cool.
Right, and I'm not sure why a cease and desist hasn't been issued on the brew pub, because I know that Tom had issued one when we were dealing with the sign, and that's when we finally got their attention. But I think all that's been done is that one initial letter.
And we're not saying, rip your whole front of your building down, or it's not like the garage on Fort Rachel where it's rip the whole roof off. It's put the right fence in and take your lights down. That's it.
It's not hard.
So who has the authority to issue a cease and desist?
The builders, the building department.
Well, Tom's the zoning enforcement officer, so he does.
But that would be paperwork.
Well, can't you just take his template, throw
No.
someone from the historic district's name on it and say that we're issuing it? And they
No,
can
we
say,
can't.
Great idea, but we can't.
You can't do that, Max.
Otherwise, I'd be throwing those things around left and right.
We don't have authority to do that.
You do have the authority to request that one be issued.
We have. He hasn't done it. We've been asking for months.
You vote on it?
Let's vote on it now.
That's
Is
what I said,
that-
you gotta vote on it. You just can't come randomly talking about it because you said you wanted to get back to him, and so he got a hold of him. It's going that route first. If you want to go through the court system, set it up. We'll go through the court system.
Well, the cease and desist isn't through the court system. The cease and
Right,
desist
that's
is
just
in
from the town.
Fine, so
has anyone from
We'll
this
have it- So
committee-
have a vote to issue a cease and desist. And we'll
I
follow through with
move,
the cease
I
and desist.
move to formally issue a cease and desist.
I second it.
Any comments? Okay, roll call.
Well, wait a minute, with the motion that we don't issue, we have to request that the town issue it.
I guess that's what Peter's saying, is that we have.
Which
to-
is what
we
I'm
have to make a
saying. So
motion
I
to
move-
request the town issue.
I move that
Town
Tom
of Groton.
Zanarini issue a cease and desist order because we've asked for months now. since May or June.
And I second that.
Comments?
Well,
I
I don't
agree.
think I don't think we need to put this name in it. You just say the town issue it.
Yeah, the town of
I
Groton.
think you want to specify exactly what part of it, because like you said, you're getting into the time frame of how much time he has to comply with it. So which specifically aspect of it are you going to go after?
There's 2 signs and the fence, I believe, is what's been referenced.
I think he completed everything else, because the plants, we didn't have anything, but he did the plants. He put up the thing, the sailcloth, but took it down. And it looked like the trash and stuff was done in the back. So that's all that I think was part of the initial application.
Basically, it's illumination of the sign. Because he did have a sign permit for putting that sign up, there's no illumination.
So did he ever, I was trying to go through his application yesterday.
I don't recall ever seeing that sign like that.
It's clear that we approved the brew pub sign without illumination. The
Correct.
sign that's freestanding where the old Bank of America sign was, when you're looking at the building on the right-hand side of the lawn, I couldn't find us approving that sign,
We approved him leaving that sign there,
but
but
that's not
not the sign.
right. So the sign, and it's illuminated. So
I think that
So
sign.
we have the illumination of the brew pub. We have the signage of the freestanding sign to the right of the building, plus its illumination and the fence.
I do think that Bank of America sign was illuminated though forever. So
It
that
had
might,
it had two lights below that reflected on it. But if you look at the sign now, it looks like it's interior illuminated.
then no, okay.
I could be
What
mistaken,
about
but
the
I thought it
plantings?
was.
We can't do anything on the plantings, but he did plant.
And he
them,
did
I think.
comply with those, I think.
Marginally.
Yeah, the palm trees are now inside.
Yeah, I don't know that he complied with that.
But he can, I mean,
He
He
did, he
can
put up some
drag 'em
photos. There are some rhododendrons that are planted, they're just low.
and he can keep dragging those palm trees out all he wants. It's just like someone having an ugly planter on the front. There's nothing we can
Right.
do about it.
So we're gonna take a vote?
Well, we
Well, I think what Peter was trying to say is that our motion needs to be specific.
Correct.
So Eric, if you want to make the motion again and be specific in the things that we're looking for.
All right, so I moved for Tom or the zoning, whatever it is, the
Town of Groton.
For the town of Groton to issue a cease and desist for the following items. One is the fence not being to the correct size and design of what was approved. The illumination of the brew pub sign. The lettering or signage that's on the freestanding sign and the illumination of that sign.
I'll second it.
Any comments?
It just would be clear that we're talking about, on the first sign, you're talking about the sign on the building.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Any other comments?
I mean, I don't know if you need to add in there, but that may not be an exclusive list either, so we reserve any rights, but that's probably not an issue.
All right, I'll do a roll call. Moriarty, aye. Goodman,
Aye.
Levinson,
Aye.
Brady,
Aye.
Nault,
Aye.
Leonard.
Aye.
All right, the motion's approved.
And
Okay,
one other minor comment on just items is that all the signage to the left of that new cactus or whatever it was called sign that she wants to put up, that's all new too, which I don't think ever came before us. It looks fine, but again.
do you mean the rose? The
No,
rose?
yeah, to the left, it's like the
Yeah, I
Mystic
thought that
Suite
there were
shop.
new signs there too, which is why I thought hers was up, but she said that it wasn't.
Hers is up. It was up today.
I thought it was too.
I looked at it because I was dropping something off at the liquor store, so.
Um,
Which, it's not a bad sign, so again, gets back to whatever, but the Mystic Sweets shop stuff is all new signage,
yes.
which again, looks great, but just, I don't know, it just needs to get approved.
So in the same vein, what about the lighting at SIFT? I don't remember approving that.
We didn't.
Yeah, that's definitely to make sure they do that when they come back.
I wouldn't approve it. but that's for a different meeting.
So just so everyone's aware, we did the pergola. His electrician on his own came in and did the lighting.
It's a lot of lighting.
Pete, did you ever get a permit? You got
No,
a
I don't
permit from
believe
me,
so.
that's for sure.
I'm sorry, Pete, I didn't hear you.
But no, I don't believe so on the electrical.
All right.
But there's the
Alright.
lighting, there's like heaters, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff.
All right. And I mentioned that in my correspondence with Tom today, and I was looking to see if maybe I missed, because I missed a meeting, maybe I missed the lighting application, and I didn't want to be a jerk if we'd approved it. So I was trying to look into that.
What's
Um,
happening next to Pizzata with the big hole?
We had approved an addition there. I think they're just
Yeah.
finally getting around to it.
Oh,
That's my project too. But yeah, we finally started because we've been dragging, they've been dragging. But that's been all approved for almost a year now. Actually, maybe more, to be honest.
All right. So I think we're in agreement that if someone comes to us with an application that's already been completed, our standard policy is just going to be it's automatically continued.
yes.
Do we need to denote that anywhere, or is that? I mean, I don't think it needs to be written down anywhere, but
Well, technically, we probably should revise the manual.
the
Well, for
only thing
now,
I would think of is revising the application, just saying, hey, buyer beware. If you show up and it's already done, you're going to be continued. So,
And you risk having it be denied. That
Right.
should be put on there too.
Okay.
Just because I do feel like some people grab the application or download it and then just don't do it.
so maybe if they see that, they'll think twice. All
well,
right.
we could, Linda could put in the minutes for tonight that it's going to be our policy.
Yeah, that's a good point, Don. So it's
I think it's just between us too. I mean, this isn't the same commission as 10 years ago. So it's just frustrating that people still ignore it. It just, not that, I take this seriously, but it's like, why, I just have to keep saying, why have it if we're not going to do anything about it?
Right. Well, and my problem is we have the Peter Hertz who come here if they have a crack in their window and need to get it reglazed. And then we have other people who just completely do whatever they want. And, why are we making Peter Hurd jump through hoops when others aren't? So.
But I also think, I agree with that, but I also think that following the guidebook and what's been established in there is important to keeping what we have too.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
We never got to new business, not that there is any. All right, so unless anyone has anything else to add, we are adjourned.
See you guys later.
All right.
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 Thank you.